If you were like me, you'd probably wonder what methods actually work to increase your chances of getting a job during this crisis and post-pandemic. Recently, we had the honor to speak with a dynamic, successful recruiter who has been in the field for over 5 years and will be sharing with us what are the common qualities of a successful candidate. And then we're going to find out what jobs are potentially still available from a recruiter. But better yet, you're going to get some advice and tips on what makes a resume effective and what works well. Let us listen to Chanell McAsey, owner of Titanium Recruitment. Some of the large companies Chanell recruits for that you may know of are Harcourt's Real Estate and Rain and Horn.
Thank you, Chanell, for your time today. It's definitely great and my pleasure to have you here. And certainly I'm sure that our community and our clients would definitely get some insightful information from you. So our clients consist of recent graduates and young professionals. So I operate a career training company and I just help them with, the resume, cover letters and whatnot. And just hearing from an expert yourself is going to be great because then, we're in this kind of little pickle here. So hopefully everyone can gain from something out of it.
Of course.
Yeah. So just quickly, if you don't mind, can you let our audience know who you are, what you do, and, what kind of clients you service yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm Chanell, I'm the owner of Titanium Real Estate Recruitment. So we specialize in the recruiting purely in the real estate and property space. So I've owned Titanium for about 3 years now. And I started the business just because I noticed a bit of a gap in the market in a recruiter that really kind of partners on with clients and really kind of establishes strong relationships with their candidates. So our major clients are all of your major real estate brand names. So any real estate office you can think of that is, a franchise tends to be some of our major clientele. We tend to work with the larger franchises. We think that gives our candidates the best possible opportunity to succeed. And my role in the business is obviously owning, running it, and forming the relationships with all the clients and the candidates as well.
Fantastic. Could you name a few of the clients that you work with?
Yeah, sure. So we work alongside Harcourt's Real Estate, Ray White Real Estate, Barry Plant Real Estate, to name a few.
That's fantastic. What I'm wanting to ask you, and I think a lot of candidates will probably want to know this as well. So, what are your suggestions on how candidates or maybe job seekers can be effective on their job search?
It's funny you asked that. I actually just did a post about this on LinkedIn. So, right now, what we're experiencing as recruiters and most recruitment agencies will experiencing influxes of applications. So, for example, typically if I'm to post a job on Seek for a property manager, for example, I'll get maybe 5 or 6 applications, which is on average. It's been that way for the last sort of 3 years. It's not we don't get volume applicants. In those 6 applications, 2 might actually have experience in real estate. So we tend to, approach the market in a more headhunt, social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, that's been our major sort of focus on finding talent, and also headhunting. It's been a huge, style of our recruitment. Right now, I posted an ad up on Friday. Today, I have 70 applications for it. 70. So that is, as you can see, an enormous difference to what we're used to. In those 70 applications, in the position that I advertised, I had multiple roles. So all the roles we're basically recruiting for at the moment. And at the bottom of the application, it said, please email me directly. And then obviously email to this email address and list what job you are applying for. And out of those 70, I reckon 2 probably did that. So in terms of job seekers, if you are applying for jobs right now, read through the ad, because if you read through the entirety of the role, you'll actually, from my end, I'm like, well, this person actually read the role, then they took the time to apply, rather than just hitting apply. Read through, what positions are advertised. If you don't have experience in it, email the recruiter and say, hey, look, I noticed that you're obviously advertising a property manager. I don't have experience in that, but please keep my resume on file. This is the outline of my experience. I've been in reception or admin. So that way we've got your details on file and we'll take note of it. As well as that, social media, LinkedIn, their engagement rates right now are through the roof. So if you are someone looking for a job, like I noticed this, there was a man in real estate and he just posted on Facebook, I've lost my job. I need help. This is my experience. And it had like 1,000 likes. It had hundreds of comments of people being like, can you email me your CV? And then he posted 3 days later and said, I've actually now got a job. So you've got to really put yourself out there. And that's daunting. It's scary. But I think that's the best way to kind of really engage with, your audience and your market, which will then increase your opportunities of being able to secure employment, during this weird time.
So now you raise a really good point, and I couldn't agree any more than that. And it's interesting how you talk about people should read the advertisement. I think not many people do. They just go, hey, there's an job I can apply for.
I think every recruiter, it doesn't matter what you recruit in any industry, can relate to that. Because it's like, today I had someone, I think they were like a farmhand, which is like, obviously they were dealing with, picking and packing vegetables and working on a farm. Applied to a senior property management role where it said 3 to 5 years experience in property management. I'm like, oh God, like I feel bad, but it's like, you can't even really take that application seriously because we don't know what their situation is. Do they then go out and get an agent's rep? Are they looking to enter the real estate market? Have they moved closer to the CBD? All I had was an email with a resume attached to it that was farm work. And for us, it's like, we don't, if you'd emailed with a cover letter or explaining, we might have had a bit more understanding about the situation. But I guess the applications to roles where there's zero, match in terms of requirement, for recruiters, it's like, it's a bit frustrating.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
We're going to go straight to the next question. Let me just fix this up. Why does it keep doing this?
I had a virtual background on before, and every time I smiled, the virtual background went onto my teeth. So think about your virtual background.
Oh, well. I can put my logo there.
Oh, nice.
That's the benefit. Anyways, so we're going to go into the next question. And being in recruitment yourself, what do you find are the qualities of a great candidate?
Look, we specialize in real estate. So in real estate, it is a very people-orientated position. So it doesn't matter what role you're in real estate, you're interacting with other human beings all the time. So the first thing we look at, particularly when we phone screen a candidate, is the clarity in their voice. How are they answering the phone? Are they, hi, this is Chanell. How are you? Or is it hello? Like they've just woken up from sleep. So the clarity in their voice and their ability to be able to project and speak and build rapport over the phone, that will be the first, step in qualifying a candidate to an interview. Secondly, in our industry, in real estate, it is a very, again, you're dealing with people, you're interacting with people. So presentation is critical. We have, you're walking into people's homes a lot of the time. So you want to come across as someone that is professionally presented, that's articulate. And obviously, real estate, again, in sales, if you're wanting to get into sales, you need to be incredibly resilient. You need to not be someone that obviously is a time watcher or wants to work 9 to 5. So, what we look for is a candidate who really wants to commit to a lifestyle in this industry, because it's not going to be a role that you finish at 5, you head home for the weekend. It's sometimes 6 to 7 days a week, incredibly high pressure. There's KPIs, there's sales targets. So we can't have someone that's shy or reserved or introverted. They need to be quite extroverted and commit to an entire lifestyle in their career. So presentation, communication, and obviously motivation are probably the 3 things we look for in a successful real estate candidate.
Fantastic. That's good. I guess my next question is more in line to your industry as well. And just following from what you were saying there. So real estate is apparently still going, and so it's still active. I have friends that, are still working like usual. Would you say that you are busy in the recruitment aspect of hiring these candidates during this COVID-19?
Absolutely. Look, we are still recruiting and typically we have 60 to 70 roles active at any given time. At the moment, we've probably got about 15, which is nowhere near the volume that we typically do have, but we still have roles. The difference is that, a lot of our clients will, via our recommendation, take on, junior or more entry-level candidates. Now, right now, because a lot of real estate offices are working from home or working remotely, I guess what we are looking for in candidates is someone that has extensive experience in real estate. So unfortunately, the more entry-level or junior candidates that would be fantastic aren't necessarily getting roles purely because there's no one there to train them right now. Directors are working from home, offices are shut. So training for new employees is done virtually or just one-on-one in the office. So our clients are really seeking someone that's experienced, that can work autonomously, that will grasp onto things, that have used similar CRMs or done a similar role before. Look, I predict that will change in the next couple of weeks because things will start to pick up and go back to normal, and they will need, junior property managers or reception or more those entry-level roles. But right now we're definitely recruiting, but probably more of a push towards the more senior and experienced candidates.
No, that's a really good point for everyone to hear. I didn't ask you this question, or I didn't send you an email, but it's just going to be quite a random question.
I forgot to read them anyway, to be
completely
honest. I'm just reading it.
That's fine.
Ask away, I won't know.
I want to ask you this question here about your experience or your opinion on people's resumes. Now, what I want to ask you is, what do you feel that candidates should be doing, especially during this time when it's tough? What do you feel that their resumes, what works and what doesn't work?
It's so funny. I literally just posted about this on LinkedIn. So it's so funny you asked me. We get so many resumes, and what we see is sometimes we see really elaborate resumes with photos and, really creative ways of getting your resume out there. It doesn't really work. We just want a clean resume. We want to have a clean resume in chronological order of your experience, and then maybe 6 or 7 dot points underneath it about what your major requirements were in the role. Chronological order is critical. So right now, as I said, we're getting 60 to 70 applications. So you can imagine when we're opening resumes, it's like we're not reading it word by word, and no recruiter does. They kind of skim through. Does it match the requirements? Okay, here's some roles that do. I'll give them a call. If we've got resumes that they start their resume at like 1994, it doesn't make sense. So we can't see kind of the career trajectory or the career progression in a resume. So clear resumes, keep it simple. Send it through in either PDF or Word format. We get notebook, JPEG, like we can't open them, and they don't transmit to our CRM. So it means that, if we are to do a CRM search of someone that's entry level, their resume won't come up. So on top of that as well, a cover letter with that resume that outlines, hi Chanell, I've recently applied to the job in property management. As you can see, I've got 3 years experience. I have a little bit of movement on my resume. This is because I relocated from Canberra to Melbourne. Would really love to discuss with you further. A really kind of clear and precise cover letter that outlines where they're at, what they're wanting to do, and why they're interested in this role. But I think my biggest word of, advice is simplicity is key. We don't want to see, because we basically, all recruiters will format a CV with our logos and everything attached to it that we then send to a client with our terms of business. So whatever resume you send, just know it's going to be copied and pasted onto a new template. And the easier that is to do, the better.
That's fantastic. Totally agree. Every single point that you said.
Like I said, I worked before I started Titanium, I worked for 2 different recruitment agencies. Yep. And one was in real estate, and one was, we recruited in all spaces. So legal, finance, accounting. And it's across the board with every industry. Like recruiters just want to see a really clear, well-formatted CV. Please, guys, no spelling errors. I can't handle it. It's a professional CV. Spell check it. Have a partner or a friend read it over before you send it out as well.
I have a curious question just following that, if you don't mind. Because a lot of recruiters and HRs use so they use CRMs and filtering systems. And they can really much nail it down to experience, skill sets, like exactly what you said there. Now, how do you suggest they highlight these components so they can get noticed by you guys?
It's a really good question. When we do a search, we use a system called Job Adder. So what we can do is type in key resume searches. So again, if you're a property manager, don't make the title of your role something unusual to catch a recruiter's eye. So for example, perfect one is receptionist. They'll title it director of first impressions or front of house supervisor. That doesn't work, because when we type a search word into our CRM like receptionist, we want to see that being matched to the resume that they've sent through to us. So the more simple you make your resume with the keywords highlighted, reception was, front house administrator, used Microsoft Excel. So really clear words that will match with our searches is basically what is key.
Great. Awesome. If you don't mind, like you've been very lovely and very insightful. I must say that everything that you said today, I'm sure a lot of our candidates will learn from as well. And what I wanted to do, if you don't mind, is probably end up the video just basically yourself. Like if people wanted to reach out to you for some odd reason, maybe they're in the role of looking for an office support role in real estate, how can they reach out to you?
So email me. My email is chanell@titaniumrecruitment.com.au. LinkedIn's also great because it means we'll connect forever. And I'm quite consistent in posting the positions that we advertise on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. So I don't know if we can leave a link to my LinkedIn or my social accounts. We've got an Instagram as well. It's called Titanium Recruitment Jobs. It is private because we do want it just purely for real estate professionals or people that are wanting to get into real estate or admin. And that basically is a live update. As soon as we get a job called in, that's posted straight to our Instagram account. And you can check how long that's been live or updated for. So you can keep an eye out for all of our jobs on there. The best way to connect, give me a call even. I'm friendly, like even if someone's wanting to, figure out if real estate's for them or their entry level, more than happy to have a chat or jump on Zoom and, let them know what it's all about.
Fantastic. Again, look, I appreciate so much of your time here.
So there you have it, guys. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you want more videos like this, just let me know. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our content. Until then, I'll see you next time.